Tony, you're on the Larry Otis Show. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
How you doing, Larry? You know, Larry, you're talking about something and you're not being accurate. The Central Park Five, they were acquitted because the DNA.
No. They were never acquitted. They were never acquitted.
I'm looking at the case right now,
sir. They were never acquitted.
Not only that, Reyes' DNA matched. That's why they were acquitted. That's why they got off. The case was overturned. That's why.
Okay, the case was not overturned.
So if you're going to say it right.
Okay, hold on. You're right that Mateus Reyes' DNA was there. You're also right
Why
that...
you didn't mention that earlier?
Let me finish there. But you're wrong that the DNA of the others were not there. DNA was very, very primitive at the time. Under today's methodology, the DNA would clearly be there. The detectives did not know what to save at the time because DNA was primitive. Let me also add this, my friend. You know that all 5 of them confessed, correct?
They were kids.
Well, they were there.
Come on, Larry.
Hold on. They were there with
They were kids.
Let me finish. They were there with their adults. They had adult relatives with them. They had their lawyers with them. They confessed. And then they recanted the confession, which is why they went to trial. They were found guilty by 2 multi-ethnic juries. And by the way,
Larry,
let me finish.
There was no evidence.
There was no evidence? There was also physical evidence.
There was no evidence. There was no witness. I'm reading the case right now while I'm talking to you.
If you keep saying there's no evidence, and you say it loudly enough and firmly enough, I guess, therefore, it must be true. There was plenty of other evidence. There was physical evidence. There was blood evidence. And Corey Wise, one of the 5, had 2 friends who testified that Corey Wise admitted to them that he had did it. So you have all 5 of them. You have all 5 of them on videotape. You can go on YouTube and look at it yourself. They were very calm. They had their adult relatives with them. Let me finish. They had their adult relatives with them.
Okay.
They all admitted that they did it. They ultimately recanted the confession. They were found guilty by multi-ethnic juries.
Larry, do you know what it takes? I work for the police department. Do you know what it takes to get someone that has been found guilty by a jury of their peers to get that overturned? Do you know how much that takes to do that? And you think some bleeding heart judge just did it because he wanted to do something?
Yes, I do. They were behind bars for 13 years. They went to judge after judge after judge to try to get the cases exonerated. They found some judge to do it, and that judge did it. That does not mean, therefore, that they were innocent. The lead prosecutors both say that they were guilty. The lead detective, who was a black man, said they were guilty. By the way, he was the only one who was not sued when the Central Park Five sued the police for their convictions. Why? Because it undermines their argument that the police were doing it because they were racist. He happened to be black, and therefore they could not include him in the lawsuit. Otherwise, it would undermine their argument.
That's not true.
What part did I say that was not true? That he was a lead detective? That he was black?
Because I'm reading the case right now while I'm talking.
What are you reading? What exactly are you reading?
I'm reading the case. I'm reading the opinion by the judge.
By the judge that exonerated.
Let me ask you this.
By the judge that exonerated him. And by the way, there were a number of people that were arrested. Something like 30 people. They ultimately prosecuted around 10 people, and then it got down to 5. And all 5 of them on videotape. You can go on YouTube and look at it. They all admitted while they were there with their relatives or other adult person.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Can I ask you one question?
You can ask me any question.
Okay. You seem to be very knowledgeable about things.
You just now said I was wrong.
Pertain I'm talking about in general.
Oh, I see.
About things that pertain to what you see as injustice that the system has reaped at the benefit of minorities. Can you give me your same understanding of, let's say, something like Emmett Till? What do you think happened in that case?
Oh, for crying out loud.
What do you know about that?
Oh, for crying out loud. He was murdered, and the people that murdered him lied. They were found not guilty by a racist jury. It was an incredible miscarriage of justice.
But you say O.J. was worse than that. You say O.J. than that.
I don't recall having said O.J. was worse than that.
Yes, you did, and it's on tape. I got it on tape.
What? Fine. The point is that these men that were prosecuted for.
The point is what?
Well, if you let me finish, I'll happy to respond to you. The point is, I guess you're trying to say that I never say there's any injustice against black people, which is why you brought up the Emmett Till case, which was kind of pretty insulting. O.J. Simpson murdered 2 people. He did everything but leave his business card there. Do you disagree with that? Thanks for watching these clips from The Larry Elder Show. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. More thought-provoking discussions are just a click away, so stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.